You know, every single time you grab a vegetable at the store, you are directly benefiting from a farmer's expertise. Today, we've got a fantastic explainer lined up for you, looking at exactly how those farmers learn, adapt, and innovate right on the front lines of our food supply. If you're into seeing how complex, high-level theories turn into literal, on-the-ground reality, well, you're in the right place. Let's just dive straight into this incredibly innovative approach to agricultural education. To kick things off, let's look at the core theme driving this whole initiative, learning by doing towards sustainable vegetable farming. Just think about that phrase for a second, learning by doing. We aren't talking about sitting in some sterile room memorizing a textbook, because true sustainability in agriculture, it's not just a theory, it is a very physical, hands-on practice. Okay, let's dive into this. Our main focus today is the official Farmer Field School, or FFS, orientation poster. It's basically this incredibly rich roadmap that breaks down the what, the how, the who, and the where of this educational initiative. Everything we're going to unpack right now is drawn straight from the structured philosophy laid out in this document. Section 1, FFS, Vegetable Production Orientation, breaking down the event. And this brilliantly illustrates what we mean by physical reality. We've got farmers out in the actual fields actively working the vegetable beds. If you notice the black material on the ground, that is plastic mulching. It's a very specific technique used to lock in moisture and keep weeds down. You've got one farmer working a hoe, another getting ready to water the crops. I mean, it perfectly captures the real-world vibe of the Farmer Field School. The classroom literally is the field. Section 2, a philosophy of doing, the core theme. So the whole idea here inherently rejects purely theoretical, classroom-only learning. Because let's be real, you cannot master the nuances of soil moisture, pest management, or crop health just by staring at a whiteboard. You've got to get your hands dirty. Moving from theory to the soil means engaging in active learning, where the variables of nature, the sun, rain, wind, dirt, those are your actual teaching materials. And as we all know, Mother Nature does not grade on a curve. Section 3. The 5 core pillars, the methodology of sustainable farming. Let's move to and see how this builds. The Farmer Field School methodology moves chronologically through 5 very distinct actions: learn, observe, experiment, apply, and share. And this isn't just a random list thrown together. It's an escalating pedagogical journey. Each step absolutely relies on successfully completing the step right before it. It's this beautifully logical pathway, taking you from just getting the initial knowledge all the way to becoming a leader who passes that knowledge on. So let's break down those first 2 steps, learn and observe. These represent the foundational, receptive beginning of a farmer's journey in the program. Learning is about gathering new techniques, like, say, exactly how to properly lay down that plastic mulch we just talked about. But observing is honestly just as critical. A farmer has to constantly watch their agricultural environment. How exactly is the soil reacting? What are the local bugs doing? Observing means spotting that one specific aphid before it wipes out an entire crop. You essentially have to be a sponge before you can be an innovator. So the crucial point here is the distinction between the next 2 steps, experimenting versus applying. This is a huge escalation. Experimenting means testing out these new methods in a controlled, safe capacity. You aren't going to risk your entire family's livelihood on some untested idea, right? You try it out on a small patch of land first. Then, once that experiment actually yields positive results, that is when you move to applying, meaning confidently, fully implementing those proven, successful methods into your day-to-day large-scale farm operations. It's built-in risk management, which is so smart. Now, what's really interesting about this is how the methodology is visually grounded. We've got these really clear icons: a book for learn, a magnifying glass for observe, a flask for experiment, hands holding a plant for apply, and a group of people for share. Plus, these exact same steps are actually carved into a wooden signpost right there in the foliage. It's a great visual reinforcement that these aren't some high-tower academic concepts. They are rooted directly in the dirt. Section 4, Leadership and Local Context, Grounding the Initiative. Now, looking at the specifics, this initiative is presented by Mr. Fernando D. Ongi, operating under the Municipal Agriculture Services Office, or MAGSO, and it's all taking place in Bontoc, Southern Leyte. It's a great reminder that while we love to talk about global food security in broad strokes, the actual on-the-ground work requires dedicated local government support and specific community leaders. It really highlights that sustainable agriculture requires hyper-local geographic context to actually work out. But here's the thing, this entire system hinges on that one final step, share. Think about it. If a farmer perfects a sustainable technique but keeps it a total secret, the wider community remains vulnerable. So I'll leave you with this. Is sharing knowledge the ultimate key to true agricultural sustainability? It really challenges us to realize that community knowledge transfer, farmers actively teaching other farmers, is the true enduring root of sustainability. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this gives you a whole new appreciation for the incredible, structured work happening right down there in the soil.